Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? We back again with another In the Car Chronicles. Y'all already know what we do on this channel, man. We staying out the way, man. Period, man. Y'all already know the count, man. Turn this video up like y'all do the rest of them. Like, share, and subscribe. This one, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Y'all already know what it is, man. This story right here, we're gonna call this one right here, Mr. Brown was the cops. Crazy situation, man. Crazy story, but y'all already know what it is, man. We in penitentiary for all of these stories, man. But I can remember being in 4 building for this one, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I was in 4B on this one, y'all. I was downstairs in 4 building, man. It was like, with me being a new guy in this pod, it was, you know, it was a little different for me, man, slightly, man, because this was one of the pods I moved in. It wasn't a lot of dudes in there from Norfolk, you know what I mean? Like, I knew people from the compound, but I really didn't know a lot of people, man. So with me just getting out the hole, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to come in there and start no fuss or do nothing like that. But at the end of the day, I already knew what it is when you come into a new block. It's always going to be new. It's always going to be new stuff that you got to adjust to. It's not going to be like your last block. We might have a celly that's not on the same type of time as your last celly was on. Like, it's about adjusting to, it's about readjusting to new situations when you come out the hole. So that's what I was on. Now, when I got out there, it was a dude in there from Norfolk that I came out and I knew him, but we never really kicked it like that. But he was in there and he was on some chill, laid back stuff. He really wasn't on that type of time like how I was living on Sussex. So he was in the block, but for the majority of the block, it was a lot of red team and a lot of Richmond dudes in there, man. Like, and that was a block that I really was impressed to go to. I ain't even gonna lie, when the lady came on the intercom and told me I was getting out the hole, it was like, I was super happy to be getting out the hole from after doing 2 months. But like, when she told me I was going to 4B, at this time, won't nobody down. 4B used to have a lot of people down there. Everybody eventually moved upstairs. Like, dudes weren't really like on 4B like that no more. Like, before I even got a chance to come to 4 building, man, like from when I went to the hole from 2C, like that's when everybody was down there. So like it kind of switched up and everybody went upstairs, dudes went to the hole. It just was a different type of block. So with it being a different type of block, it had a couple of older gentlemen in there, y'all, like, you know, and I can bit around older gentlemen because I'm not one of those dudes that's loud, be doing hot stuff and be doing a lot of crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, man, like, you know, I see what's going on. Like my first day in the block, I could see what's going on. I could see that this dude right here, he's like the head house man. He's doing this. So when I came out the hole, it was one old head. And the reason why I knew he was kind of like in charge of a lot of stuff, because when I got out the hole, they was locked down. They was feeding in the pod. So he was out passing out the trays and he was the only one. It was him and the CO and it won't nobody else. So I seen him, you know what I mean? So he asked me, was I about to come in, you know what I mean? Coming in 4B. I'm like, yeah. So I come in the block. They put me inside cell 38. So when I moved in 38, I ended up getting in the cell with a cool dude from Richmond. He was a cool dude, you know what I mean? He wasn't on no boot, no BS, no geographical stuff. I had my own stuff. I didn't need him for anything. So it was like, you know, it was all right. The only thing that I had to readjust to was getting up to the top bunk. So it was nothing with that. But at the end of the day, you know, I seen what was going on. I asked bro, like, yo, like, we was like, yeah, we've been on modified lock. They've been having us locked down for a minute now, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He was like, yo, we ain't been to lunch since Monday, and it was Thursday that I got out the hole. So I'm like, y'all ain't been to lunch since then? He was like, lunch or dinner. He was like, they might let us go to breakfast, and after that, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So he was saying, like, Sussex started doing this new thing where they was saying they was running out of officers. Like, if they run out of officers, that means they only have limited time of rec to give people. Like, they would say downstairs got the rec earlier, so upstairs get the rec in the evening. They was just railroading us, man. We supposed to get a certain amount of rec being on a level 4. They didn't care about that, man. I'm letting y'all know they didn't care about that at all, y'all. So boom. So with me staying out the way, or me cooling, you know what I mean? I'm minding my business. You know what I mean? I see what kind of block it is. I see the red team doing their little thing, messing with the la-la. I see the Richmond dudes running around, messing with the la-la. Like, I see what's going on. I see, like, you know, I'm just waiting my turn as far as getting something like the la-la, because I couldn't wait to get the la-la. Like, I was still on the point, like, at this particular moment right here in this story, like, I didn't care about catching the dirty on. Like, you know what I mean? When I get out, I was still going to try my hand, which was crazy. It didn't make no sense because, like, for real, the investigator was making it almost impossible for you to mess with the la-la. So like still though, I was still trying to hurry up and get out the hole. Dude sent me la-la while I was in the hole. So like la-la was still part of my system. You know what I mean? It was still a part of me, y'all. So like when I got out, it was like I still won't rush it. When you don't want to rush when you get out the hole when it comes to that type of thing, because you just want to see what's going on. So when I come in the cell after I got all my stuff together, my roommate, he cool. He told me that, you know what I mean, how the block was, how they always locked down, but still though, it's all right. I asked them how it is. Do they always be trying to put it in the cup in this pod? Do the investigator be coming in here acting like a psycho, trying to P-test everybody? He was like, nah, not like that. They really don't mess with their block. He was like, every now and then it might be a random game or something like that. But he gave me the rundown, you know what I mean? But he was like, for real, he was like, he don't mess with the la-la. He was like, he don't mess with the la-la. He was like, he mess with the dog food. And he was like, he only do that from time to time. And he was like, the only reason he mess with the dog food is because the dog food don't stay in your system long. And that was another perk that a lot of dudes that mess with the dog food would like messing with the dog food, because the dog food wouldn't stay in your system as much, man. But still, I still couldn't get jiggy with it, y'all. So boom. I'm never doing the dog food, so I still can get jiggy with it. But with him being in my cell, not messing with the la-la, I used to like situations like that because I can take the joint to the face game. You know what I mean? I don't gotta pass it off, and you know what I mean? I roll my la-la, I can handle my la-la dolo. That's kind of, I used to always like it. I used to like messing with my homeboys when we out matching and doing all that stuff. But like when you dolo messing with it, that joint always be a great buzz. So when he told me he wasn't getting down, it was a beautiful thing. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. It was a beautiful thing, man. But like I still didn't have none at the moment. So we talked, everything was straight. So as they was about to count, I looked up. I seen the old head dude. We're going to call him Mr. Brown, man. We're going to call him Mr. Brown, man. I see him coming up the steps. Now, Mr. Brown was a dude. He was kind of like a short, brown-skinned, old head dude, bald head dude, had the salt and pepper beard game. Like, his jump was all the way gray mostly, you know what I mean? So I give Mr. Brown probably in his 50s, you know what I mean? But like, I told y'all, once you in penitentiary for a minute, like past your 50s and all of that, like, you're going to look old, man. It don't look like penitentiary reserve everybody that become that age in there that I witnessed. You know what I mean? People look really old in penitentiary when they get up to that age. So Mr. Brown that look old, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, he's the guy that's the head house man. So I didn't even know when he was coming up the steps, he went in right beside our cell and was like, open up 39. Open up 39. He was going in cell 39. So he slept right in the same, he slept in the cell beside us, you know what I mean? Which wasn't a major thing that I was tripping, but I was like, man, I ain't know the old head when I seen him when I was coming in. Like, that's crazy ironic. Now he in the cell beside me. So when he locked down, I tell dude, I was like, yo, so like old head, he be running the pod, like he be the one passing stuff. He was like, oh nah, he ain't passing nothing. He was like, he was like, sometimes he do it, but like a lot of times he don't. He ain't passing nothing, man. He was like, for real, man. He had this job for years. He was like, man, he been working for the police for years, man. He said, I've been up here 2 years. He said, I've been in 4 building 2 years. And for a year, I've been in this pod. He was like, the whole time, Brown been working, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's his name. He was like, yeah, Brown, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, all right. So I was like, look, I'm saying though, I was like, man, they don't be trying to hire nobody. Like, I was like, cause I had a job before I left. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I went through my annual review when I was in the hole. So I was like, my job that started over. So I don't really got no charges pending, you know what I mean? Cause I just had my annual, basically, you know what I mean? So all the charges I had was before my annuals, but while I was in the hole, my annual came up. I was like, so I'm really trying to get a job. I was like, ain't no way that I can holler at him to see if I can get a job. He was like, he just shook his head. He was like, man, he was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like for real, he give people jobs. So I said, so he is hiring. He the one be hiring people. He was like, man, I'm saying he kind of do give people jobs that, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, man, for real, I'm gonna holler at him and see what's going on. He was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what he gonna say, bro. Like, I was like, where he from? He was like, he from Tidewater. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say where Mr. Brown was from, man, but he was like, he from Tidewater. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm gonna holler at him then. You know what I mean? I could kind of tell he's from Tidewater because he had one goal right here on the side. So, like, not saying that's a Tidewater thing, but like, you know, I figured he was from Tidewater anyway, old head dude. So I waited for us to come back out. So when the doors opened back up and we came back out, I seen Mr. Brown. I said, yo, Mr. Brown. I said, look, man, I'm trying to get a job. I said, I just got out of the hole. I said, I went through my annual review, so I ain't really got no charges pending on my joint, you know what I mean? Because I already went for my annual review, so it was like I'm starting a fresh year. So I'm like, look, you think you can get me a job? I was like, when I was in 2C, I had a shower, cleaning the shower job, whatever the case. He listened to me. He was like, we was standing on the top tier. He had his coffee cup in his hand, and then he was just looking around, but he listening to me like, so I'm breaking it down, you know what I mean? Running it down. He like, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. I can't make no promises. That's how his voice sounded. I can't make no promises. I'll see what I can do though, man, but I can't make no promises, man, because you know they got a shortage on people that they hire, and then I don't want to be vouching for people that it's gonna come bite me in the hind parts in the future. I'm like, in the hind parts? He like, yeah. I don't want nobody. I don't want to vouch for nobody in there. I said, nah, look, I ain't gonna do you like that. I said, look, I ain't on no crazy stuff. I was like, I just be, you know what I mean, like trying to mess with the la and trying. He's like, you mess with the la. Like he said it like it was a like I told that man, like, you know what I mean, like I shake, rattle, and roll. Pause. He was like, you mess with the la. I was like, yeah, why you say it like that? He was like, no reason, but look, I'll see what I can do though. Just go ahead and put the application in, and then I'll see what I can do. I was like, all right, man, see what you can do. So I slid. So when I dipped off, you know what I mean, I'm just standing in the pod. I'm trying to look around, trying to observe the pod, trying to see what's going on. It's our first wreck, kind of like, so I'm looking around. I see dudes I know, but it ain't a lot of dudes of my guys in there. So I'm looking, I'm chilling. I'm like, so I just get on the phone. So I hop on the phone. So I see another dude that I know from Portsmouth. He was on the phone beside me. You know what I mean? He was in 2C with me. So I see him. So when I get to the phone after dude, I get on the jack. You know what I mean? I'm dialing the number. He was like, hey, Weezy, what's up, nigga? I was like, oh, what's up, bro? Goddamn, I ain't know you was in. He was like, nah, I've been in here. I was like, yeah, I'm chilling, man. He was like, what they talking to him for? I was like, who? He was like, Mr. Brown. I'm like, I was just trying to get a job. He was like, man, that man ain't gonna hire you, man. I was like, why you say that? He was like, man, look, he don't hire no young dudes. He ain't giving no young dude. You gonna have to go holler at the unit manager. He was like, man, that man the cops for real, man. I was like, man, go ahead, man. He was like, man, I ain't got no proof. But he was like, I think he the cops. I'm just letting you know. I was like, what you mean? Like he was like, bro, like I'm just telling you, I don't be dealing with him. I don't talk to him. Me and my roommate don't talk to him. Like, I just think he the police, man. I'm just letting you know. I'm like, man, for real, old head the cops, man. He like, man, I mean, you know, like you see for yourself. So I done been in a block with dudes that work for the police, got the main job. You know what I mean? They the head houseman. They pass the trays out. They help with commissary. They come out when we lock down. They pass the commissary sheets out. They always outside they cell. That's the benefits of having that type of gig. I have seen dudes reach that level to get that type of job. But out of everybody I have seen get that job, I'm not going to say every single last one of those people were the police. But I will say 80% of them were. You know what I mean? 80% of these guys were, man, because it gets to the point where you're just always around the cops. So, like, if you always around the cops and you're not getting no package, like, dudes are going to think the worst, man. Like, even if it's never no proof, even if it's never been proven, dudes is going to think your ass working with them, y'all. So, boom. So, like, I could kind of feel where bro was coming from because I have seen this type of situation before, y'all. This situation wasn't new to me. It wasn't a new situation, but at the same time, though, I got to get old head the benefit of the doubt because there was no facts on the table. It wasn't like they was like, yo, man, I got proof that he told on bro. And bro went down and I could have seen if he done that. Nah, they didn't have that. So, and bro already was saying basically like, but I like, that's how it used to be. You dudes will have it, like they'll be talking about it and they're speculating about it and never really be no proof. But a dude would still have the jacket of being the police slightly. And Mr. Brown looked like he didn't really care what nobody thought if he was being considered as the cops. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, look, man, I ain't tripping on that jump, man. I ain't tripping on that jump, man. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, bro. So I kicked it with him. I got on the jack. I called Mom Dukes. It was over with, y'all. It's time for lockdown. So boom, I go in the cell lockdown. I tell my celly kind of, Mr. Brown told me go ahead and put the app in. So I came in the cell with the request forms and the application. And you know what I mean? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. If I can put it in the door and they can grab the night and the sergeant, all of them can see it in the morning. So I'm like, man, he gonna work his magic. Hopefully it works. So my celly like, he you know, it's all right. Hopefully he will. So we wake up the next morning for breakfast. Breakfast went regular. You know what I mean? I didn't say nothing to the sergeants or none of them. It was a regular normal breakfast. So we locked down again. So when we come back out, we came back out for the first morning time rec, you know what I mean? So it's outside rec. So this kind of like the end of March because my annual review was in March. So this like the end of March slightly, you know what I mean? So it's slightly getting about to be a little bit of 55, 58 degree weather, that Virginia weather. Y'all know how it goes, about that type of temperature. It ain't too cold no more like it was. So everybody went outside. We had the basketball court. So we went outside. I see my man from 2 building. My man from 2 building got the package game. He got the la-la, y'all. That's word. He got the la-la. So when he see me, he like, God damn, bro, you came out just in time. God damn it. I'm like, what's up? He like, you know the count. I got something for you. I'm like, yo, bro, look, I got you. So bro went and we talked for a minute. He was like, I'm just going to throw it over the fence. So the way you do that on sus is like, if dudes had something for you to get it over the fence to where you was at, dudes will go get a rock because there's rocks all over the yard. Dudes will go get a rock, a nice size rock, get the rubber band, put it whatever they gonna put on the rubber band, tie it up, and then throw it over the barbed wire. Now, I done seen that go wrong a lot of times too, but this was like just floated over to us on the court. Just don't let the police see you. So bro throw me the joint over. You know what I mean? So when bro throw me the joint over, the only dude in there that I know like that I was rocking with, kind of like besides bro from Norfolk, that I didn't really know was the dude from Portsmouth. So he was right there on the court too. So when I get the jump, I take it off the rubber band. I was like, good look, bro. He was like, you good. I take it off the rubber band. Bro threw me a big old spoon game. You know what I mean? So I look at it, I'm like, yes, sir. I'm like, you got a feezy? He like, yeah. So we went on and rolled up on the court. We rolled up on the court, y'all. That's my word. We rolled up on the court. That means we blow it down on the court. Blow it down on the court, but dudes is blowing it down everywhere. This is susses. The Lala is around. So we blow it down on the court. I blew it in Portsmouth, dude. You know what I mean? We blow it down on the court. So after we finish, it was time to go back. We shoot back in the pod. We go back in the pod. I'm like, man, crazy. The shift that's working is a sweet shift. We got the lady, man. I can't think of the lady. She was an old head lady, man. She was super cool, man. Not only did she let dudes be the number one, she would not care about nothing. So she was one of those cool COs. Everybody that came in from rec late, they still jumped in the shower and she ain't really get mad. She waited till the last dude get out the shower, then still counted. Like she was cool like that. So she's working. So I already had in my mind, as soon as she walked by, I was gonna roll me another Lala stick, y'all. So boom. You crazy? It's going down again. So as soon as she slid, I rolled up. Another one. DJ Khaled game, another one. Yeah, Dolo shot this time. My roommate like, man, that jump stink too. I was like, yeah, my man sent it to me from 2 building. You know what I mean? Went in the jump, lit the NSYNC game. Shh. You know what I mean? Got the NSYNC game litty. NSYNC game super litty. So stay in the jump, man. Sat on the top bunk with the ashtray right there. I'm like, so I go to the face with the joint, y'all. Pause. I take it dolo. You know what I mean? So I ain't even gonna lie, I was litty after I finished. I'm just laying up that junk, man, looking at prices right. I'm like, man, this junk crazy. I'm lit. Looking at my TV, I'm like, man. So I'm in the junk like, man. So they counted for a while. Like it's been a little while since they counted. So I look at my roommate. I'm like, man, we ain't coming back out. He was like, we might not, bro. I told you, man. Like they be switching up, man. Like they about to floor. So they sitting in the junk. That's my word. I hear the door open up beside us. It's 39. You know what I mean? I jump over the word. I'm sitting on the top bunk so I can look. I'm like this. I'm looking the door right there. I'm looking out the window. So the door open up. He's on the left side of us. So he'll have to pass us to get to where he's going if he's going downstairs or anywhere else besides towards 44. So when the door open up, all you see is this. He walked by. He was like, I seen his eye. He looked in my cell. He looked at my cell, which is a major violation. But he did like this. He was like, as he walked by, he was like, I seen him. He was like, he made a face. He was like, by the time I jump off the bunk, put my flip-flops on, he was downstairs. He was like, he was going in the little cart, the food cart, pulling up the trays. He was like, he was stacking the trays up. He was like, I'm on the door looking like, man, you just looked at my cell, man. Wrong, Mr. Brown. But I caught myself. I'm like, bro, you wildin'. Ain't you trying to get a gig? Ain't you trying to get a gig, bro? Chill out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wilding out, bro. You wilding out. You know what I mean? So I caught myself. Chill out, man. I said, yo. I turned around my room and I said, man, old dude next door. He said, Mr. Brown. I said, yeah, man. He just walked by and looked at our cell, told me something. He said, he don't like that Lala. He don't like that Lala stuff. I'm telling you now, he don't like that Lala stuff. I'm like, what you mean he don't like that Lala stuff, bro? How he's not gonna like the Lala? I am the Lala. I ain't say that though. I'm like, what you mean he don't like the Lala stuff, bro? He was like, bro, he don't like the Lala, bro. Like, I'm just telling you, bro. Like, I've been next door to her and I don't mess with the Lala, so it don't really bother him. You know what I mean? You like one of the first people that came in the junk. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, all right. So I ain't pay that no attention. So he came and did the trays. So but he get on the top tier to us. You know what I mean? You know the incense still burning. He get on the top tier. Police ain't say nothing. Police walk by. Police ain't say a damn thing. You hear me? This word, he get on the top tier. He give us our tray. So I'm right there by the door. He come get us the tray. He like, I was like, yo, Brown, I'm about to ask him about the job. I was like, yo, Mr. Brown, you did. All you heard about my tray slot closed. Boom. He slammed my tray slot. I'm like, man, you just closed the tray slot. I was like, man, he was like, man, don't say nothing. I was like, man, Mr. Brown, wildin', man. So they fed us lunch in the pod. So after we ate, they grabbed the trays. We waited about another hour and a half. Then we finally came out for Empire Rec. So we came out for Empire Rec. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, he was already out. He wasn't even in his cell, so he was already downstairs. So I was like, man, we go holler at him, man. Like, You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no beef with dude, man. Like, it ain't nothing like that. Could be in a maniac, Weezy. Go see what's up with this job, man. So I was like, man, I go down the steps. I'm like, I took the regular walk down the steps, y'all. I was like, I seen him. He's standing at the table with a couple of other old heads. I walk up, they talking, so I ain't even want to interrupt. Then I seen one of the other old heads look back at me. I was like, yo, partner, self. I was like, yo, Mr. Brown, can I talk to you for a second? He was like, he made a face like, that's the word I read his brain. His brain was like, what the fuck you want with me? I started to say, man, you old bastard. Man, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep my composure, but his face was like, the fuck you want with me? I'm like, damn, like, let me holler at you right quick. He was like, he ain't even like turn around to face me. He kind of did some old school shit and just backed up. So it's like, I'm facing this way. His ear is like, you know what I mean? But he backed up. And I'm like, and he back up. He like, I'm like, hey, look, I just came to ask you, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to get this job. Like, you think? He was like, no, we ain't hiring right now. I said, we ain't hiring. He said, oh, no, I meant to say they ain't hiring right now. I was like, this man just say we ain't hiring right now. I said, so they ain't hiring right now? You sure? He was like, nah, and look, you messing with that la-la right next door to me, that ain't gonna work, youngin'. That ain't gonna work.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.